I'm Lisa Birnbach for Howdini.com. You love to play sports, but you're always worried that you're going to get some injury, and often you do. With me to talk about men and sports-related accidents is Dr. Brent Ridge from Mount Sinai Hospital. Hi.
Hi.
A lot of men want to play sports, feel that they're athletes, and then are terrified that they're going to mess up their back, their leg, their knee, their rotator cuff. What's a guy to do?
Well, obviously I always promote exercise. I'm glad to see people who are out there doing physical activity. What men need to know is to know when to stop, or when to slow down, or when to change their exercise pattern. You really have to listen to your body, and that's what most men don't do.
Sometimes you need to work through a pain though, and a lot of men seem to want to tough it out.
Yeah, working through pain is a misnomer. That's almost never the case. Sometimes if you have a little bit of muscular pain, then working through it, doing some stretching, that type of thing is good. But if you have a problem like a sore knee, you've hurt your knee, you've run too far on your knee, working through that is not going to help. It's only going to make the problem worse.
How can tennis players avoid tennis elbow?
Well, tennis elbow is really a modern problem, and it's because we're hitting the tennis ball much harder, and we're all about speed when we're playing tennis. And the problem with tennis elbow is that the force that's transmitted when the ball hits the racket is transmitted into your elbow and can cause an inflammation of the tendons around your elbow. And so what you need to do to help prevent that, if it's a recurring problem for you, is look at your racket, use a lightweight racket as much as possible. Look and see how your racket is strung. If it's very tautly strung so that you're transmitting a lot of force when that ball hits, that's going to make tennis elbow much worse. So having looser strings on your tennis racket is going to help. And then really look at the surface on which you're playing tennis. Using a softer surface, clay or grass, is going to reduce the amount of tennis elbow that you have.
And be better on your knees as well.
Absolutely.
Now, in terms of pre-workout protocols to make your survival of your own workout better, what should we all do, especially if we're men?
A warm-up is really important. Making sure that your muscles are warm and ready to begin exercise, that's important. And that's why stretching could have some benefit, because it can help you get your muscles warmed up. And when you're doing a stretch to warm up your muscles, you need to stretch that muscle and hold that stretch for about 30 seconds so that that muscle is really getting warmed up and prepared for the exercise to come.
If you're sore after a workout, it could mean that you broke through, couldn't it, to the next level? Or does it always mean that you've done something wrong?
It doesn't always mean that you've done something wrong. You could have just been you exerted a little bit more than what you should have. But if you look at even some of the biggest bodybuilders, they'll tell you that they often work out and are not sore after their workout. So just working out to the point that you're sore the next day is not necessarily helping you build more muscle or helping you build more strength. If you do have sore muscles, ice, something as simple as ice is probably the best pain relief out there. Massage is also very good, very indulgent, but very good. And then the most important thing is rest. Your muscles are growing and getting stronger as you rest. And that's why it's so important if you're really big into weightlifting, that you take that day off in between periods of exertion, or you're working different muscle groups on different days so that those muscles have time to rest.
What if you rest and don't exercise? Is that good for your muscles too?
Well, then you're a sedentary, and I don't recommend that for anyone.
Thank you, Dr. Ridge. For Howdini.com, I'm Lisa Birnbach.